Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Stories. So yeah, no beer review today, just the second in my series where I'm going to just tell some beer stories from my life. First one people seem to like and wanted more of, so I thought, okay, I will continue. This will be the first international one. So I have two stories from when I went to China, so I'll just tell, well, three stories, but from two different drinking experiences. So I'll just tell the first drinking experience, which is two of the stories. Got to go to China for a little over 2 weeks a few years ago, and it was an amazing experience. I'm not a huge fan of the Chinese. Actually, I don't like the Chinese government at all. I think they're awful, very oppressive. I have a lot of problems with them. But the people of China were so nice, so amazing. A lot of hospitality, being invited into homes, these elaborate home cooked meals, um, elaborate tea ceremonies. They had this tea, and they gave me a bunch of it as well, called pour tea. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Pour, almost like pour. Um, and you age it in the block, and the more it ages, the better they say it is, and then the more significant the occasion that you drink it, the older. And like we were at one place and they broke open like a 15-year-old one. They're just like, yeah, this is something we would have at a wedding or an anniversary, like just like again that kind of hospitality. We have this American, and we want to show them a good time. So again, the people, as much as I did not like the government of China, the people, all the ones I met, were so warm and inviting. So big shout out to all those people. So I went out with one of them who I got to know, and some of his friends, and there was a translator there, so that helped. So it was really interesting how much they wanted to know about American culture. You see how like big movies do over in China that are American made. Some collaboration studios are doing with China. Um, I won't geek out on that stuff, but anyway, um, yeah, definitely into American culture. I got asked several times, like, what are cool expressions that are being used? We know, this, and this. Like, is there anything new that hasn't made its way to China yet that we could say to be cool? I don't know how many times I got asked that question. And I say old stuff. I say cool, like that's like my big go-to. Hey, dude, what's up? So I was not the guy to ask that. But anyway, they were really interested in what we do in America. And so we went out and we were going to have some beer. And I wasn't drinking much on this trip, and everything had to be super sanitized. So it was this pitcher of beer, but not like an open pitcher. It had a lid on it, and then it had like that relatively hard plastic you would find like if you buy like a jar of olives or something, and before you can get the top off, you have to take that like little plastic peel part off. That's making sure that the seal's not broken, because everything we had to have. In terms of drinks and food that our sanitized stomachs could handle, everything had to have like actually they put like a little S on it for sanitized. So to show that this was sanitized and I could have it, it had been checked, it had been wrapped. So it was already kind of a different experience as plastic seal. The whole thing was sealed in plastic. So they like peel it all off. And I would think the alcohol would kill anything that would be upsetting my stomach, but whatever. So it was a hot day, and they had poured the beer and they started putting ice in their beer. And like, do you want some ice? And if I travel anywhere, I always try to do like what local people do. But like habit, I was just like, no, I don't want any ice in my beer. It's not how I drink beer. And because I didn't want the ice in the beer, all these other Chinese guys started pulling out the ice cubes because they're like, well, if the American, right? Like we want to be like them, especially beer drinking culture. So I just thought that was interesting. Um, the second thing, this might be more amusing and perhaps even funny. So I had only looked up so many expressions to say in Mandarin. Most of the places I was in, the dominant language was Mandarin. And, ni hao for hello, was it shishi, I think was how you said, or shishi was, thank you. Um, booyah, booyah was, you don't want this. Like, I don't want this. So if someone like on the street was like, hey, you want to buy this? You'd be like, booyah, booyah, I don't want to buy that. And a couple other things that just you would say a lot. And but the one I looked up for a situation like this, I wanted to know how to say cheers, right? So I looked it up, and it was Gambay. So we're about to have our beers, and they had all taken their ice out. So I look at them, I go Gambay, pretty normal thing, right? Cheers, drink, okay. They all roll their eyes at me and pound their beers. So I'm like, all right, what's going on? So I asked the translator, I'm like, can you help me out here? Like, I was just saying cheers. They all, pounded their beers and rolled their eyes at me. Are they mad at me? I thought I was doing a nice thing. Translator starts laughing. I'm like, all right, what's up? They said, well, basically, you didn't say cheers. That's not how we cheers each other. You questioned their manhood. Basically, what you said was, um, you are I'll use a cleaner version, a wussy, and you better pound your beer to prove that you're actually a man. So she's, it was a female translator. She's explaining to me about that. So then she explained to them the mishap, what I was trying to do, and I didn't mean to, challenge their masculinity and all that stuff. So they started laughing. They look at me. They go Gambe, and then I was like, okay, I guess I better chug my beer to to fit in. Um, yeah, it was a super fun time. A lot of awesome adventures on that trip. Two of the worst massages I ever got. They just hurt. It wasn't like a nice feel good massage. So the one guy who I knew there, just none of this would be about beer. So if you just want beer stories, tune out. And I just like this story. So he takes us to this dive dingy. It looks like a boarded like a house. Like all the windows are boarded. No one lives here. All these people who seem to be living on the street just start coming in. So this whole group I'm with, we can get these massages. And this little woman comes in, and she just starts walking on my back. She starts walking on her knees on my back. She starts punching my feet, in like this into her knuckles into my bottom of my feet and the I'm trying to think what else, man. It was awful. Um, she started laughing at me because I was like, I'm 6'4", like I'm a big guy, and I was definitely the biggest person I saw over there, and she was one of the smallest people I saw when I was over there, and she's like dying laughing because I'm like in pain, and the whole time this guy who was translating at that for that event, he kept being like, "Tomorrow you're gonna feel great. Tomorrow you're gonna feel great." I did not feel great tomorrow. It was again some of the worst pain I've ever been in, and I had like bruises all over my body. I'm like from this again tiny, teeny, tiny person, and then I'm like, all right, dude, you gotta redeem yourself. So he took me to another place to get a massage, and this one looked more like an actual massage place. And we get there, and it's all these women who are going to do. I think there was five of us who had paid for massages, and then there was the five women who was going to going to do them. And again, I don't speak Mandarin, and my woman is again laughing at me. Different, completely different setup, different person, like, but just more laughter. And like when you're getting a massage, you're supposed to be calm and relaxed, not being laughed at. And she's just pointing at my feet, and I'm like, okay, translator, like, what's up? And the translator goes, oh, she's just never seen feet that big, and it's very amusing to her. I'm just like, so then all the other people doing the massages start looking at my feet and laughing. I'm like, you guys are the worst culture for massages. I'm gonna stick to Sweden. Yeah, again, no hype beer stories. I'm sorry that last part got a little long-winded. It was not a beer story. I just, that was very amusing to me. Again, let me know if I should keep them up. I'm still a little like on the fence because it's so out of my comfort zone of just doing beer reviews. But let me know. Thanks for checking it out. Have a good night. Cheers.